What's happening in Vegas? There's videos going viral right now showing that's a complete ghost town. Like there's absolutely nobody out or vacationing there. And at almost every single hotel, employees are getting laid off, except for Aria and Bellagio. And you have hotels like Excalibur that fired employees and shut down their buffets. And there's rumors that executives either stepped down or resigned. And this is all after hotel fees, parking fees being raised twice. But yeah, this is how it looks right now. Look at this. Look at this.
We're in Vegas.
Like absolutely nobody.
This is supposed to be the city that never sleeps. But there's like literally no one around here at all. And on all of our walks pretty much tonight, we've seen nobody. So, I don't know. Is Vegas slowly dying out?
Wow. Now there's a bunch of speculations on why Vegas looks so dead, but I want to know why you guys think Vegas is dying. Because usually around this time, it is so busy. So, have you seen what's happening?
Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, Satan, salutations to the hopeful elect that's pushing his word, truth, and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you brothers, you know. And I want to do a lesson pertaining to this clip on TikTok. It's Las Vegas dying, and as you can see, man, out there in Las Vegas, basically it's like a ghost town, man. You know, it's like one of those apocalyptic movies, you know, where you're in a town and there's nobody around. It's just you wandering around in the city. That's how it looks like out there in Las Vegas, man. You know, but really, this is, you know, the times we're living in, man. You know, the times of joy and the times of men and women having fun, having a good time. Them days are over with, man, because sorrows are soon to come. You know, this is the beginning of sorrows, you know. Let's get that real quick. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start with this. This is the book of Ezekiel. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7 and verse. I'm going to start at verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, came unto me, saying, Also, thou son of man, thus said the Lord Yahweh power unto the land of Israel, the end is come upon the four corners of the land. Verse 3, Now the end is come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. That's right. So the end of what? The end of Babylon the Great, the end of this kingdom. Verse 4, And my eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thy abomination shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shai. Verse 5, Thus said the Lord Yahweh power, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. Verse 6, The end is come, it watches for thee, behold, it is come. So there's nothing but evils that's going to continue to manifest, man. It's gonna continue to progress, man. You know, and as these evils are starting to, you know, come forth, you know, these sorrows, these people, they're not going to be in the state of mind of, even though you see you got a lot of these Israelites, they still having a good time, but that day of the days of mirth are closing, man. The days of mirth, enjoying yourself is gonna come to an end. You know, we're in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble, and Jacob's trouble is right around the corner. And when Jacob's trouble pop off, that's when things are gonna continue to manifest. You know, the times we're living in, man. We're living in the times of Jacob's trouble, man. You know, you out there going to different cities and having a good time. Them days are over with, man. You know, and evil and only evil, behold, has come. And that's what's coming to Babylon the Great. You know? The Lord is declaring the end of Babylon the Great, man. Let's get that in the book of Isaiah, chapter 46. Book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. That's right. So, Yahweh me outside. He's declaring the end of Babylon the Great. So what? Through these prophecies, man. Through the words of Yahweh me outside and His word, man. Babylon the Great is starting to. The system is crashing as we speak, man. This system, this economy is crashing as we speak. We give all praise to Yahweh me outside for that, man. Because if it wasn't for these prophecies come to pass, we would have been consumed out here, man. You know, because the scripture says, with a paraphrasing, if the days weren't shortened, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. So the Lord's starting to speed up the times for the elect's sake. You know, because if the days weren't shortened, no flesh will be saved. Everybody will be consumed and destroyed because of this economy that we live in, man. Just the vibration and atmosphere that we live in, man. This society, this wicked world that we live in, which ultimately is going to be all destroyed, man. Let's get the book of Isaiah, chapter 24. And I'm going to start at verse 7. This is the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 7. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. Verse 8. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice is ended, the joy of the harp ceaseth. That's right, the mirth of tabrets ceaseth, man. And the noise of them that rejoice ended. These people out here that's, you know, going out there having a good time with their friends and partying and, you know, going to the club, hanging out with their friends and their, you know, men having fun with their women. I mean, going to the club to get a woman and, you know, a whole bunch of folly, man. Them days are coming to an end. You know, guys going to concerts and going to these rappers' concerts and going to, you know, them days are coming to an end, man, because we're living at the end. As you can see, you know, not too long ago, they just dropped off the last ship of goods coming from China, man. You know, basically, there ain't going to be no more ships coming in. And that's ultimately going to lead to a famine. You know, a famine is brewing as we speak. And a lot of people, that they don't know that, man, because they're not, a lot of people, they have that whole identity, that whole thought, like, they don't watch the news because they feel like the news is too good for them. Not even knowing that something can just pop off, which it is, it's going to, Jacob's trouble is going to be a shock to a lot of people because, you know, knowing what's going on, you know, hearing the prophets and things of that nature. You know, these people hearing us, the prophets, they hear us all day talk about Jacob's trouble and the days of doom, but they ain't paying attention because they think that we're a bunch of lunatics. But we're going to see who the real lunatics when all hell started to break loose, you know? Why do you think a lot of these ghost towns, why do you think Las Vegas is like a ghost town right now? Because a lot of people, you know, a lot of people are not in that spirit right now. That spirit is gone, man. That spirit of rejoicing and having a good time, you know, that spirit is going to come to a halt, you know. Verse 8 again. The mirth tabret ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice is ended, the joy of the harp ceaseth. Verse 9. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. That's right, man. That strong drink meaning destruction, man. You know? Because a lot of these people, they're occupied in folly, man. They're not occupied in the words of the Lord. They're not occupied in prophecy, man. You know? We're those only ones that's seen. We're those only ones that seen what's going on. You know? Verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. Verse 11. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Verse 12. And the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. That's right, man. There's crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. And that's what's going on, man. There's no joy going on. And you should be, in the elect of the Spirit, we're rejoicing because we're living at the end of Babylon the Great. We're living at the end of Esau's kingdom, you know? Matter of fact, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to jump back to Isaiah 24. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy. In the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that had joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. So that's what the elect, the Biyashat that would die, Lord wonder of that number. That's what we, our joy, that's what we're enjoying, man. We're enjoying the downfall of Esau, the so-called self-proclaimed white man's kingdom. We're looking at his downfall, man, and we're rejoicing in that through the Spirit. But these people, they're rejoicing. These people, they're saddened. They're depressed because Esau's kingdom is through. It's finished. Especially a lot of you 2/3. A lot of you 2/3, man. You. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get this real quick. Because a lot of you 2/3, you're too caught up in this society. This book of Isaiah, 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High Yahweh have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. So this world was created for a lot of these 2/3, man. That's why they're in cahoots with this world, man. You know, the phylacteries, you know, the notorieties, the fame, the money, the glory. That's what a lot of these Babylonians glorifying. That's what they indulge in, man. You know, these Twitch streamers and these, you know, famous people of the world. That's what people look up to, man. They don't look up to the creator of the heavens and the earth, man. They don't look up to, you know, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man, and the kingdom of heaven that's about to be bestowed on the earth. That's not on their mind, man. Their mind is occupied in folly. Their mind is occupied in nonsense, man. That's why this is only for the elect. That's why it says, but the world to come for few. And what's the world to come? The world to come is the kingdom of heaven, man, which is going to be on earth, which is only for the Israelites. But 2/3 of our people, they're going to perish. But Lord, where are those first fruits, man? 2nd Ezra 8:3, it says, there be many created, but few should be saved. That's right. There be many created, but few should be saved. And that few is talking about the elect, man. Because we're those only ones that's being prudent, man. We're those only ones that's paying attention. Matter of fact, let me get this as a spirit. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 1. And it reads, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, Yahweh, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. The main key component, occupied in prophecies. And that's what we're doing, man. We're paying attention to certain news outlets. We're paying attention to certain videos that's being put out there. You know, we're not like you people. You people are being occupied in these NBA playoffs, you know, being occupied in what Shador Sanders and Deion Sanders and them guys. That's what a lot of people are paying attention to, man. Paying attention to these TikTok trends. A lot of people, they're not being occupied in prophecies because they're too indulged and they're too caught up with this world, man, with this society, what's going on in this society. You know, they're too blind, man. For example, that what's her name? That debate going on with men talking about 100 men versus one gorilla. You know, that's all set up by the elites, man. That's all set up by Esau Edom to keep you jakes on a low vibration, man. To keep you dumbed down, man. It's all nothing but you know, that's all nothing but folly, man. Scripture says folly is set in great dignity. Folly is set in great dignity. That's what it's all about, man. Distractions on top of distractions on top of distractions. You got all types of distractions out here, man. You got the 100 men versus gorilla debate. You got the NBA playoffs. You got, what's going on with Shador Sanders and all them guys and the NFL. All these distractions are all coming together, all coming at one because Esau knows that things are starting to pop off, so he has to let certain distractions be let loose to keep you people blinded. Scripture says, "Let the blind leaders let the blind lead the blind. Boats shall fall into the ditch." So, a lot of you jakes out there, you ultimately gonna fall into the ditch, man. That ditch is gonna lead to destruction, you know. Verse 2: He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. That's right, man. You know, so we're being occupied in the words of Yahweh outside. Let's get that book of Proverbs, chapter 22. It says, and it reads, Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3, and it reads, "A prudent man foresees the evil and hide himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." That's right. So a prudent man, to be Yahweh outside, he's seen the things that's going on out here, man. He's paying attention to certain news outlets and things of that nature. He's paying attention to certain prophecies and paying attention to certain things on the news and linking it to prophecies. That's what the prudent men are doing. We're those prudent men. But the simple pass on and are punished. So the simple being 2/3 of our people. That's why the scripture says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." Our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because they don't know what's going on, man. Matter of fact, let's get that in the book of Hosea. Let's see if I can find it in the book of Hosea. Hosea 4:6. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. It reads, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children." So 2/3 of our people, ultimately, they're destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. The knowledge they indulge in is this world, man. Sports, entertainment, the music industry, so on and so forth. That's the knowledge that a lot of these jakes have. But when it comes to the knowledge of the scriptures, they don't acknowledge it whatsoever, man. But you got some jakes out there that have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Not according to the 100% truth of Yahweh outside. But these jakes out here, man, they gone through, man. And I see it all the time. These 2/3, man. There's nothing but a bunch of 230s out here, man. The 230 club. Just going about their business, just not giving a damn, man. But hey, everyone has their own lot, right? But that's pretty much it, man. I'm not gonna make this a long-winded lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Wacha, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, safety, and salutation to you, beloved Hakim, that's pushing this word, true and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. To the next time, Shalom, and the Bible soon.